Coming up, DFW takes the crown again as the nation's hottest real estate market to watch. New Texas propositions just passed, bringing real property tax savings to homeowners and investors. Nationwide, first-time home buyers are aging up and tapping out. Sellers are pulling listings at record rates, and mortgage costs remain flat. And later, a billion-dollar community is rising south of Fort Worth. Welcome to Jesse's weekly DFW real estate update. I'm Jesse Showalter. Let's get into it. In local news, DFW leads the way for the second year in a row, and Texas voters pass a number of propositions which will give some much needed tax relief. For the second year in a row, Dallas-Fort Worth ranks as the nation's #1 real estate market to watch in the 2026 Emerging Trends in Real Estate report from the Urban Land Institute and PricewaterhouseCoopers. DFW topped both the home builder and commercial investment categories, beating out Austin, Tampa, and Nashville. Analysts cite steady job creation, corporate relocations, and continued in-migration as drivers of demand. The region also leads the nation in new home starts and remains a logistical hub with infrastructure that keeps builders confident. So North Texas isn't just growing, it's setting the pace for the country once again. Now, while North Texas continues topping national charts, some brand new state propositions are giving homeowners a little breathing room on property taxes. Texas voters have signed off on a sweeping set of constitutional amendments aimed at lowering property taxes and protecting homeowner equity. The biggest headline is Proposition 13, which raises the school district homestead exemption from $100,000 to $140,000. For a typical home in Denton County, for example, around $377,000, that's around a $600 break each year. Proposition 11 extends additional relief for seniors and Texans with disabilities. A $450,000 homeowner could see roughly $1,600 in annual savings. Proposition 10 adds a temporary tax exemption for homes damaged by natural disasters and fire. It's a safety net for families still rebuilding after storms and disaster. Proposition 2 bans any state capital gains tax on individuals and estates, a move that keeps Texas friendly for real estate investors. And Proposition 7 expands property tax exemptions to surviving spouses of deceased veterans. That's a proposition that I'm a huge fan of. Altogether, these measures represent billions in long-term relief for Texas homeowners. So as DFW leads national rankings, those new state changes help residents hold on to a little more of that hard-earned equity. Across the country, first-time homebuyers now make up just 21% of home purchases, the lowest share since tracking began decades ago. And the median age of those homebuyers has risen to 40. Rising prices, student loan payments resuming, and tight starter home inventory are keeping many younger buyers on the sidelines. Even with rates easing slightly, if it takes a 10% down payment on a $400,000 home, that's $40,000 in cash just to get in the door. Though, as my real estate reminder, there are several options out there for first-time homebuyers that go all the way down to 3.5% for FHA loans, which makes a necessary down payment for a $400,000 home just $14,000. To see what you qualify for and what your necessary down payment would be, reach out to Mortgage Mike, who joined us for his monthly market update last week. With inventory high and sitting right now, we can even try to negotiate with sellers to contribute a little to closing costs to even help buy down your rate or keep a little more money in your pocket at closing. Here in North Texas, builders say entry homes under $350,000 are hard to find inside the metro, pushing new buyers to the outer suburbs like Anna, Royce City, and Burleson. So for the first timers, the dream of owning a home isn't gone. It's just moving farther out and taking a little longer to reach. At the same time, more sellers are deciding to sit out. Redfin reports that 16.2% of homes were delisted in September, the highest since 2015. Many owners who locked in 3% rates during the pandemic don't want to trade up to a 6+% mortgage now. Rather than cut prices, they're waiting for better conditions. The result, active inventory fell about 2% month over month, even as new listings ticked up 4%. Homes are taking around 49 days to sell nationwide, and agents say buyers are still fighting over move-in ready listings in good school districts. Here in DFW, we're seeing the same pattern: steady demand, slightly more supply, and sellers waiting out the rate cycle. So between hesitant buyers and cautious sellers, the market's in a holding pattern of sorts, with rates still the wild card. Mortgage rates remained flat this week following the rate cut from the Fed last week. Mortgage News Daily shows the average 30-year fixed right at around 6.29%, which is somewhat flat from last week. The 15-year is at 5.82%, and FHA loans average around 6.02%. The spread between treasuries and mortgage rates is narrowing, a sign lenders are easing margins as bond markets steady. Still, rates remain above early October lows. So if you're shopping for a loan, there's a bit of breathing room, but locking early could save you if volatility creeps back in. For this week's New Construction Community of the Week, big growth is heading south of Fort Worth. The city of Burleson has approved Tallgrass, a $1 billion, 621-acre master plan community from Groundwork Development Partners. Plans call for about 4,000 homes, 90 acres of parks, 5 miles of trails, and a town center retail district with roughly 1 million square feet of commercial space. Home sales are expected to start in 2026. It's a sign that growth is no longer just north of Dallas. The south side of Dallas-Fort Worth is booming too. Jesse's real estate tip of the week is something I touched on earlier. Make sure to talk to your lender and real estate agent, me, to figure out if asking for seller contributions at closing are something that you need. You can use those funds in several different ways, including buying down your rate some, but remember to discuss with your lender and agent first before expecting, because some loans have limitations to how much you can get and how you can use them. So if you've been thinking about buying a house soon, make sure to come up with a game plan with your lender and your agent team. I'm Jesse Showalter, and that's Jesse's DFW real estate update for the week of Monday, November 10th. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Are you thinking about buying, selling, or just curious about your home's value? Reach out. I am happy to help you navigate the DFW real estate market. That's it for this week, and I will see you next Monday.